everyone, I'm Jerry D'Ambrosio, Manager of Educational Content, and welcome to tonight's special presentation. Dr. Leto's 7 Secrets to Making Money with VectorVest defines a concise yet complete roadmap for making money in the stock market using VectorVest. Tonight is all about secret number 4 and how to profit from the abundance of information located right on the home page. Tonight I'll be using our VectorVest real-time program. And with the real-time program, you're able to see tick-by-tick information on over 8,300 stocks. When I first open up the VectorVest program, I always like to see what the market is doing. The market just opened about 13 minutes ago. You can see at the bottom right it says 9:43 a.m. And we can see the major indices currently are mixed. The Dow's up 70 points, the Nasdaq's up 4, the S&P up a little less than 5, and the VVC is up about 10 cents a share from the close of yesterday. You don't have to open an app on your phone, you don't have to turn the television on. You're able to see what the market is doing every single day right from the home page. Now, based on today's trading so far, we look to the right to our market timing gauge. Now, the VectorVest 7 homepage is laid out just like a local newspaper. Our headline, top center, is always market analysis. So with today's trading underway, it says the color guard is bullish and VectorVest advocates buying safe, undervalued stocks that are rising in price at this time. Very straightforward guidance. The needle is 3 ticks into the green, which means all of our market timing indicators here in the color guard, the price of the VectorVest composite, the RT, and the Midas ratio, are all higher on a day-over-day and week-over-week basis. We're starting to see a lot more green in the color guard as well, which means the market's rising. We just recently got a confirmed up signal. The MTI also just recently crossed from below 1 to above 1. Now, these are some of the things that you would see in a market timing graph, but the same information can be located right on the home page. Now I'm going to move to the upper right. To further your investing and VectorVest education, right from the home page, you can go to our VectorVest University. All of our educational content is located in the university. I'll move here to VectorVest at a glance. We're currently tracking a little over 8,300 stocks. You can see how many stocks have buy ratings, how many stocks have sell ratings, how many stocks have hold ratings. And below that are the values of all of our key market timing indicators. I really love to see the fact that the RT of the VVC, the Midas ratio, and the MTI are all above 1. Very favorable. I talked about the color guard. Now, the reason that we're advocating that it's okay to buy stocks right now is for a few reasons. The market timing gauge needle is in the green, and the primary wave is up. So there are a few things that we'll say here on the home page, and in particular the market timing gauge. We'll say whether it's okay to buy stocks, whether it's not okay to buy stocks, and whether or not to use caution. And the caution light will be given if there are yellow lights in the color guard and the primary wave is up. If the primary wave is down, but there are yellow lights across the top row here in the color guard, we will say that it's not okay to buy stocks. So there are a few different situations. There are many situations based on the color guard where we'll tell you whether it's okay to buy, not to buy, or use caution. In fact, if I just move into the viewers really quick and go to the special reports, we have a special report called the color guard. And if I scroll all the way down to the bottom, it lays out all of those different situations. Notice, all of the situations where we will tell you not to buy, the primary trend of the market is down. That's the first 2 letters here. The underlying trend is the second 2 letters. All of the situations where we'll tell you to buy, the primary wave is up. But again, caution will be advised based on the colors in the color guard. So this is a great resource to always refer back to in case you were wondering, why are we using caution? Why are we telling you to buy? Why are we telling you not to buy? So all systems go at this point. Market's rising. The trend of the market is strengthening. The breadth of the market is increasing. or strengthening as well. The buy to sell ratio, boy, has this indicator risen pretty rapidly recently. It was at 0.59, 0.55 just a few days ago. It's at 1.46 now. To the right of the color guard is a mini graph of the market timing indicator. Now here we're looking at a 30-day snapshot of the MTI. Any gadget on the home page is fully customizable. So if I want to change that 30-day window, I can click on the configure button here, click on our graph span, change it from end of day 30 days to end of day 3 months. I'll close the configure button. This gives us a little bit more historical data on the MTI. Again, we can see that it just recently crossed above 1. Not only are the gadgets fully customizable, the home page itself is fully customizable. So I can add more gadgets to this home page by clicking on the configure button to the right of the word home. We were looking at a MTI mini graph. If I click on the configure button, I can select mini graph from our available gadgets. If I click on that, that'll pop it into the upper left hand portion of the home page. I'll close that. Here is an intraday. Now with the real-time program or the intraday version, the default mini graph is an intraday graph of the VectorVest composite. I can change that if I'd like. I can click on the configure button, change the graph span. I want to look at an end of day 3 months as well. I can change the size from medium to small. If I'm done making changes, I can click on the configure button, and then I want to drag it over where the MTI is. So I'll click on it and I'll drag it and drop it right above the MTI. Again, this is the same information, folks, that you see on a market timing graph. Recently, what did the VVC do? Well, we've talked a number of times recently of how the VVC has just broken out of this channel that it had been trading in since the beginning of August. That's very bullish. Market breaks out of a channel to the upside, breaks out through resistance. That's extremely bullish, and you can see the market has taken off from there. If I wanted to change it back to an intraday graph, again, if you have the real-time program, we can do that. Here's an intraday graph of the VVC so far. Above yesterday's close, this horizontal line here is yesterday's close. Again, about 12 cents higher than yesterday's close. I'm going to move this up here. I'm going to take our top RT sectors gadget and move it here as well. So what I've done so far is market analysis. Everything that we do begins with market analysis. That's why it's front and center here right on the home page. We've determined that the market's rising and that it's okay to buy stocks. Very, very straightforward guidance right at the top. If we were to say to use caution when buying, it's okay to buy, but maybe just be a little bit more selective in the stocks that you purchase. That being said, right from the home page, we can take a look at not only top stocks. Now this gadget here, we're looking at Midas touch stocks. These are the top 5 Midas touch stocks. The same top 5 stocks that you would see in the Midas touch watch list in the viewers section. We can also look at top RT industries and top RT sectors. Let me start with Midas touch stocks. We're looking at the top 5. You can see their VST scores here as well. I can change this gadget if I want to look at more than the top 5. I would change the gadget from a small gadget to a medium gadget. And as you can see, that opens it up a little bit. We can look at more than just the top 5. So what I would do from here is I'd graph some of them. I'll just highlight, let's say, the top 7, right click. You can do a lot from the right click menu. If you're linked up to either TradeStation, Interactive Brokers, or Ally Financial, you can trade these stocks right here from the home page simply by right clicking on them. You can quick test them. You could put them in a quick folio. You can add them to an existing portfolio or a new portfolio. You can add them to a watch list if you wish. What I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the charts. I'm going to click on View Stock Graph. Those are Midas touch stocks, right? So we have to change our layout. Make sure we're looking at the Midas touch layout. And as you know, we change our graph span here to 3 months. Great looking chart. Obviously a high Midas touch stock, a high momentum type stock. Stock today almost making a new high. That, I think, is where you'd want to see the stock price go before entering into this trade. Wait for it to go above the most recent high of 94.81. It's got about 70 cents to go, but you want to make sure that momentum is continuing before entering this trade. You could see that the 10-day moving average on the stop, 65-day moving average on the stop, they're both hitting a 3-month high, as is the 40-day moving average on RT. You can add another layer here. High Midas touch stocks are momentum trades, really based solely on technical analysis. We're using moving averages, not only on the stop price, but also on relative timing. But the other layer that you can add to it is earnings. We can click on earnings per share. So is the high momentum nature of this stock, is it driven by strong fundamentals? Now I know we're only looking at a 3-month chart, but if I want to see a longer term perspective of earnings, you can just pull this little arrow out here and you can see, boy, SAIA, strong earnings performance here. And as you know, earnings is the engine that's driving this stock's price higher. I'll go to the next stock, CCMP. Now if I just quickly go back to a 3-month chart, obviously a Midas touch stock. We know that. So I can open this up a little bit if you wanted to see a longer term perspective on earnings. Now this earnings per share is a little bit more erratic, so maybe you would pass on this one. You can cherry pick through the top Midas touch stocks right from the home page and be a little bit more selective. If you want to favor stocks with smoother earnings, that would make sense, and pass on stocks like this. Not to say that you can't make money on a stock like this, but earnings is a little bit more erratic. ENTG, beautiful looking chart here, bottom left to upper right. I know we're looking at 7 months, but you have really solid earnings performance as well. ASML, good earnings performance. Now you may pass on this one. Now look folks, I know I went from a 3-month graph to a 9-month chart. The reason why I did that is because we all know if I stayed on a 3-month chart, we'd all be looking at Midas touch stocks. They were taken from the Midas touch gadget. The reason why I'm pulling this out a little further is to see a longer term view here of earnings per share. Now this stock gaps up and down a lot, so for that reason maybe you would pass on it. That's up to you. Earnings is pretty solid here as well. So you'd go through the top charts here of the top Midas touch stocks, and again just adding earnings gives us an indication that price is driven by rising earnings. To the right of the Midas touch gadget is a gadget called Top RT Industries. And to the right of that, Top RT Sectors. I'm going to start with Top RT Sectors. So what we're doing here is we're taking a top-down approach, right? We've looked at the market first. The market is clearly rising. Our color guard is bullish. We're saying that it's okay to buy stocks. To drill down into the sectors that are performing the best right now, we can do so right from the Top RT Sectors gadget. So the top RT sectors right now again, these are the same sectors that you would see in the sector viewer under the viewers tab. We can open this up as well. If I want to look at a medium sector gadget here, I can do so. So what I'll do from here is I'll cross-reference. I'll cross-reference the top sectors with the top industry groups. So I can see that building is the 3rd fastest rising sector right now in the database. And if I go over to Top RT Industries, building, residential, commercial is the 3rd best performing industry in the database. What I can do from here is right click. I can view the historical data. What I want to really look at is the stocks within that industry group. I can click on it, and here they are. All of the stocks within the building, residential, commercial industry group, which as we saw was the 3rd fastest rising industry group in the database currently. It's also in one of the best performing sectors. The stocks now are sorted by VST. DR Horton right at the top. let's work through our analysis, right? Price of $50.05 currently. We value it at $64.52. Fantastic. Great start to our initial analysis. The stock is undervalued. Relative value above 1 at 1.34. That's favorable. We've got good upside potential here long term. Relative safety, it's an indicator of risk. Can't get much better than that. It's at 1.47, so it's a very safe investment. It's also rising in price. It's got an RT of 1.37. Now what I like about this one, not only is it safe, it's undervalued, it's also rising in price, but with this one we don't have an RT of 1.8, 1.9. A lot of people say if the RT is at 1.9, it's a little overbought, probably buying it too high. I'm going to wait for it to pull back a little bit, and that's a fair assessment. But here we have an RT of 1.37. It's not that high. Just recently actually crossed from below 1 to above 1. And again, top VST score of 1.40. It's got a comfort index of 1.09. That's considered favorable. It has a buy rating. It has an earnings growth rate of 10%, an earnings yield of 9%, and they're earning $4.46 a share. We can go down the list. Meritage Homes, LGI, Beazer, Taylor Morrison. I'm actually building a Taylor Morrison house for my family currently. It should be done in February. But they're one of the top VST stocks here in the building residential commercial industry group. It's also undervalued. It's got good long-term upside potential. However, this one is a little bit more of a riskier investment. It's got an RS of 0.93. What you can also do right from here is sort by any of the indicators. So if I wanted to look at just the safest stocks in the building residential commercial industry group, I'll just click on RS. It still keeps DHI, DR Horton at the top of the list. And you can see all of the relative safety scores at the top here. They're all rising in price. They all have favorable VST ratings as well. Transportation, another top sector. And as we can see, the top industry group in that sector is transportation truck. If I right-click there, I could do the same type of thing. View the stocks in the industry group and select some of the top stocks in the top industry groups within the top sectors right now in the market. And look at that, SAIA, our top Midas touch stock, right? Well, makes sense that it's at the very top of the list in the transportation truck industry group. Undervalued, favorable fundamentals, rising in price. It's got a VST score of 1.54. And just to scroll down and finish things off, again, to further your investment and VectorVest education, we have our VectorVest events gadget on the home page as well. We have a brand new course called the Efficient Option Buyer. It's a live stream course which will be taking place on September 27th. If I want to know more about that, I can double click on that line and that'll open up our website with more information. And you can do so for any of the events here right on the home page. Below that is our webcast schedule. We have some phenomenal instructors here at VectorVest, and here are all of our upcoming webcasts over the next week or so, and you can register for or join them right from the home page. And then finally, special offers, our 2-day investment seminar in Tampa. You see that it says all new. You're probably wondering, well, you guys have given this seminar before in Tampa. We have, but we've really revamped things quite a bit. So if you want to learn more about the all new 2-day investment seminar, which will also be live streamed, you can click on the banner here right from the home page. I'll scroll back up. As we can see in real time, the Dow's dropping a little bit. Still up for the day. NASDAQ is down, S&P is up, so we have a mixed session here with the VVC still up about 7 cents. And that hasn't changed our guidance. We're still advocating that it's okay to buy stocks right now. What I've just done, folks, is taken you through everything from market analysis to sector and industry analysis to individual stock selection. And I've done all of that right from the home page of the VectorVest 7 program. I know there are multiple tabs up at the top. There are so many things that you can do with the VectorVest program. You can run scans, you can create your own scans, you can run back tests. We have the Derby, we have the Watchdog. But the essentials are located right on the home page. And again, those essentials are market analysis, sector, industry, stock analysis as well. Not to mention that the strategy gadget on the home page gives you our guidance each and every day. Now again, it's located in the views, but we've also put it on the home page to make it a lot easier to access. Well folks, this concludes tonight's special presentation. Don't forget to join me on Monday afternoon at 2 p.m. Eastern Time for our special presentation Q&A. Bring some questions, we'll have a great time, and we'll clear up any confusion that you might have. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Now, if you're new to the software or would like refresher information about the software, click on this Getting Started video right here. Thanks to all of your input, here's a YouTube video that we think would be perfect for you. Click right here. If nothing else, folks, just hit the subscribe button right here.